Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Call to order at 6 p.m. Rialto Unified School District regular meeting of the Board of Education, March 22nd, 2023. Any individual who requires disability-related accommodation or modification, including auxiliary aids and services, in order to participate in the board meeting should contact your superintendent or designee in writing. We're going to go from open session. We're going to A3 and to move right into our closed session. As provided by law, the following items for discussion and consideration at the closed session of the board meeting: public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment of employees, Government Code Section 54957, student expulsion, reinstatement, expulsion enrollment, conference with labor negotiation, agency designated representative, Dr. Avila, superintendent, Rhonda Kramer, lead personnel agent, Roxanne Dominguez, lead personnel agent, Armando Ortega, personnel services, lead personnel agent, employee organization, California School Employee Association, Chapter 203, Rialto Education Association, Communication Workers of America. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D and or D.3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure, litigation, number of potential claim. 1. Comments on the closed session agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any items on a closed session agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We do not have any.
Do we have a motion to move into closed session?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Vote by member. Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
And Ms. Lewis? Aye, and we're moving in at 6:02. Thank you, Ricardo. Do we have a motion to adjourn out of closed session?
Motion to adjourn closed session?
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
And Ms. Lewis? Aye, and the time is
7 p.m.
7 p.m. on the dot. All right, tonight we have a special performance from Eisenhower High School. But first, let us have the 9th grade student, Alexis Zarzuza, lead us in the pledge, along with her classmate who will recite the pledge in sign language. Can we rise?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, students. Got my sign on. Mrs. Barbary and the principal, Dr. Frank Marshall, for attending. Oh, do you have a little bit more? Well, let me stand in front so I can see that more.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Avila, colleagues, community. My name is Rebecca Barbie. I've been an employee in Rialto for 20 years. But this year I was given the opportunity to start the American Sign Language program at Eisenhower High School. I agree. With the support of Dr. Camacho, we now have 5 ASL 1 classes this year. ASL 1 is an introductory course to American Sign Language that builds the linguistic and cultural knowledge of the language. Students study advanced vocabulary, ASL sentence structures, and intermediate elements of the language and explore its use as a multicultural tool. And of course, at the end of this, the students will have a good idea of what the deaf experience really is. In addition to that, we do have a whole lot of fun. The goal going forward is to build this program into a 4-year program that will allow students to get the seal of biliteracy on their diploma. But you don't want to hear from me, so let me introduce you to one of my students, Antonio Gill, who will give you a student's perspective.
All right, so hi, my name is Antonio Gill. I'm a senior at Eisenhower High School, and I'm also captain of the boys varsity baseball team. I've been playing baseball for around like 15 years, so when I tell you guys that ASL really changed my life, that like you get an understanding for where I'm coming from. ASL is probably the best class I've ever taken before, like in my entire high school experience and just experience in general. I talked to Ms. Barbie and I was like, hey, I would really want to pursue a career in ASL. And me and her talked and I applied to Cal State Northridge, where she also went to college. And I want to become an interpreter, and I got early acceptance into Cal State Northridge to become an interpreter. So in the fall of 2023, I will be a future matador. And so we would just like to teach you guys like very easy and like simple ASL signs that are like really easy. I can talk loud enough, so. Okay, so
The public cannot hear you.
Oh, that's true. Here, let me hold your
Yes.
mic.
thank you. Okay, so if everyone raises their hand up top, puts it to their chin, and goes down, that is thank you. Put your hand flat, swipe it across, that is excuse me. Which other ones should we teach? Okay, so again, so down, put your left hand across, and then you go up, that is good morning. And then 2 fingers up, cross them, that's R. Put them together flat, that's U. Make a fist, that's S. And then pointing finger up, that is D. Rialto Unified School District.
Thank you, guys. Anybody else want to teach us something? No?
Oh, please. It's 5 hands on your chest and then just circle motion. That's please.
What about this one right here?
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you, students. Thank you, Ms. Barbary. Sign language is close to my heart, being a parent of a deaf child. So I know, like, potty and sit down. But he's a young man, and when you think of bilingual, that's such an awesome feel, and it's such the deaf culture, and for us to be able to communicate and respect all languages, and that is a language. So thank you for attending tonight's school board meeting, and thank you for Eisenhower families for being here with staff to support our young talent student. How wonderful tonight to switch roles and to be inclusive in everything we do. Love it, fly high eagles. So we have a presentation by, we'll start with report out of closed session.
We have no report.
Okay. And then we're going to move on to 8.9, adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? Vote by student board member.
Aye.
Vote by Ms. Dominguez.
Aye.
Mr. Montez.
Hi.
Okay, and Ms. Lewis, aye. Our next is our presentation from the Student Advisory Committee. Mr. Geithner, would you lead out on that?
Yeah. So, first up, from DSAC, we have Santiago Baltazar from Eisenhower High School.
Good evening, distinguished members of the board, Board President Lewis, Superintendent Dr. Avila, Student Board Member Peter Gaitán, viewing audience, parents, community members, and peers. My name is Santiago Baltazar, and I have the honor of being this year's AESB President at Eisenhower High School. I'd like to share some of the exciting things that have happened and will be happening at the home of the Eagles. Starting off with academics, next week on the 28th, we are celebrating students with a 4.0 GPA or higher at our Distinguished Scholar Dinner, which will be hosted at Sierra Lakes Golf Club. Also starting next week, we have CASP testing for our juniors, which will see the start of block schedule for the next 3 weeks. Next up, we have our athletic highlights. Starting off strong, volleyball defeated our rivals Rialto 3-2. Our amazing swim team is also currently undefeated and on the path of becoming league champions for the second year in a row. Very good. We also have volleyball, swim, track and field, tennis, softball, and baseball senior game taking place this April. Lastly, our extracurricular highlights. I'm excited to announce our second to last dance of the school year, our annual Glow Cello Dance. We'll be offering amazing food trucks, a photo booth, face paint, and of course the main attraction, the glow-in-the-dark decorations and accessories. Following that, we'll be hosting our last pep rally of the year. We're introducing some new concepts, such as our first annual Powder Puff, which, if you're not familiar with, the girls who sign up play flag football, and the boys who sign up are the cheerleaders. Before I continue, I would also like to give a quick shout out to our amazing lunch staff, as recently they heard the voice of the students and have been preparing new experimental lunch options from scratch, such as wings and a new burger similar to the In-N-Out burger, receiving very high praise from everyone at the school. And also, before I go, I'd like to invite everyone here to come to our impressive drama production play of The Addams Family, which will be taking place the 26th through the 28th of April. You don't want to miss it. And also, come check out our award-winning band perform on the 29th of April. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a fantastic night, and please make sure to stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eisenhower. Next up, we have Sienna Rivera from Rialto High School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Board President Lewis, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and student member Mr. Gaitan. And viewing audience, I am Sienna Rivera, an ASB and Lean Crew leader from Rialto High School. The Knights are back from spring break and gearing up for success and celebrations over the next month, including a prom fashion show, state testing for our juniors, honor roll recognition, and so much more. Let's start off with some celebrating. Our MESA students competed in UCR's annual MESA Day competition earlier this month. Students worked for months designing, building, and testing different projects to compete in several events. We placed in all of the events that we participated in. 2 of our teams took first place and will be moving on to the MESA Southern California Regional Competition in April. Congratulations to our students and Rialto High's MESA advisor, Mr. Michael Thompson, for shining light on the Knights. As you may have heard, our Lady Knights basketball team finished their season with CIF title. It's been 11 years since we had the title, and we couldn't be more excited. Congratulations to our ladies and Coach Goodlow for an incredible season. Our Black History Month festivities concluded with Black History Night to inform and celebrate our African American students. Rialto staff members Ms. Anderson and Dr. Piguet worked tirelessly to pull the event together, and we appreciate their commitment. We'd also like to thank RUSD Principal on Special Assignment, Dr. Balagon, for her support and assistance with our event. We had over 150 students and adults and guests join us for family supper, performances, presentations, and awards. It was a wonderful event and joy and support. We'd like to invite everyone to Rialto High's spring musical, Little Shop of Horrors. Next week, you won't want to miss this incredible musical experience. A man-eating plant from outer space has descended upon Rialto and is hungry for human blood. Seymour, Audrey, Mushnick, and Oren come face to face with this smooth-talking dynamo and do their best to make it alive. Come watch this all-star cast meet their fate on March 30th, 31st, and April 1st at 7 p.m. in RHS Performing Arts Center. Tickets are available on GoFan. We wish everyone a wonderful month as we kick off the last quarter of our school year. Keep the lights on, Knights, and thank you.
Thank you, Rialto. Next up is Francesca Stevens from Myler High School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Board President Lewis, and Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Francesca Stevens, and I am the proud ASB President for Myler High School. Quarter 3 is coming to an end this Friday on March 24th, 2023. There are 40 students this quarter who have now earned the title of a high school graduate.
Woo!
We want to wish those students the best in their next chapter as we continue on our journey to Operation Graduation. Speaking of next chapters, we want to wish students Sedbrianna Walker and Soraya Hooks a big kudos as the Myler and Zupanik students who will be attending the HBCU college campus tour next month with Education Services. We wanted to wish congratulations to those 2 students and thank Dr. D'Souza, lead agent of Math and Early College Programs, for presenting the news in person to our students. Our blood drive was successfully held in late February, and 62 students graciously signed up to donate blood. From those students, 40 pints of blood will be donated to save lives in Rialto.
Ooh, yes.
Also in February, Coach Black of the Manhood Project came to speak to 45 young men on our campus about the importance of finding a support system outside of school that can help you achieve your goals. The session concluded with lunch from Jersey Mike's. Upcoming in the month of April, we have Myler's second water science trip with Mr. Torres from April 3rd to April 5th, 2023. On the trip, students will learn about native marine biology ecosystems in the Catalina Island region. Late in April, the California Continuation Education Association will host its annual conference. Some of our outstanding employees and programs have been nominated for awards, including Dr. Griffin, Principal for Site Administrator of the Year, Mr. LaSure, School Counselor for Counselor of the Year, Mr. Edwin, Clerk Typist for Classified Employee of the Year, and the Manhood Project for Exemplary Program of the Year. Announcements of the winners will be made in the month of April right before the conference. Finally, Myler's Adult Transition Program is proud to host its second annual prom on Saturday, May 6, 2023, at the Fox Theater in Redlands, California, with the theme of a masquerade ball. Our adult transition students are proud to host this end-of-the-year tradition for all Myler and Zupanik juniors and seniors. Thank you again for allowing me to share the great things happening of the world of Myler and Zupanik. We appreciate your continued support and hope to see you at the events that were mentioned.
Thank you, Myler. Next up is Jada Johnson from Carter High School.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, Board President Lewis, and viewing audience. I'm Jada Johnson, President of Black Student Leadership Association at Carter High School. Carter has been doing great things. For academics, please join us in congratulating Samantha Viguez as our valedictorian and Shakina Ulloa as our salutatorian for the class of 2023. Samantha is setting a Carter record with a valedictorian GPA of 4.95.
Wow.
And Shakina has a 4.90. Oh. Absolutely amazing work. Yeah. And they are both wonderful human beings. We are super proud of their accomplishments. For Alex, we honored 124 of our Alex math students that have been doing well in their math class. Students were treated to an extra dessert to congratulate them on their success. Last night was the award ceremony for our County Science and Engineering Fair at the Doubletree Hotel in Ontario. Our very own Carter Lion, Isabella Lipe, took the gold medal for her division. Plus, she received the Society Award in Vitro Biology and is going to the International Science and Engineering Fair in Dallas, Texas from May 13th to 17th to represent Carter High School. Cashella was a great success. This event rewarded senior students that completed their FAFSA applications. The CHF staff, students, and parents worked extremely hard to ensure our Lions completed their FAFSA applications. The follow-up event is Announcements Day for our college-bound seniors in May. ASB hosted Casera Middle, Kolb Middle, Rialto Middle, and Frisbee Middle School for our freshman sneak peek. Counseling, administration, and nutrition services all work together to give 8th grade students a special day at Carter. Special thanks to clubs, sports, cheer, and band for all of their support. Moving on to athletics. The girls were honored tonight, but another congratulations to our girls soccer team. One of the most historic nights of Carter High School. The Lady Lions behind the goal of Maya Davis defeated Ramona 1-0. Yes. CHS varsity soccer girls team is the Southern California Division 5 regional state champs. Woo! The CHS track and field team continues to set records. Recently, CHS athletes completed the Colt Classic Innovational in Covina, with several students taking the first and second place recognitions in their assigned events, including but not limited to the 100, 200, and 800 meter dash races, as well as several hurdle-based events. On Sunday, March 19, 2023, Carter had 8 students complete the 26.2-mile LA Marathon. Woo! Yes. The 8 students were seniors Armando Montez Oca, Jonathan Perez, Michael Valdez, junior Angela Torres, and sophomores Owen Ochoa, Joanna Ruiz, and Aiden Lim. Team members trained for 4 days for 6 months and completed multiple training races and runs in preparation for their marathon. We are so proud of their hard work and determination. Yes. For clubs and organizations, the CHS MESA program continues to stem ahead in the area of science technology. The CHS MESA team won in the following events: coding, math escape challenge, crime scene investigation, best design, best moon base starting with best design, best moon base performing reaching 200 centimeters. The CHS speech and debate team recently participated in the Citrus Belt Speech Region Tournament. The following students placed in the state qualification semifinals round. For the dramatic interpretation, Alexandria Staten, Brenda Perez, Lorena Carr, and Vanessa Perez. For humorous interpretation, Brenda Perez, Mia Garrett, Sadie Gulafuz, and for the duo competition, Sadie Gulafuz and Mia Garrett. Thank you for allowing me to share the wonderful things that are happening at Carter High School. Go Lions, and don't forget to roar.
Thank you, DSAC students.
Thank you so much. I mean, we are just on academic fire.
Yes.
Fire! Academic excellence. Next, we will have board member Martinez, and he has a special recognition for us.
Okay, this is a real honor. Carter High School is a state social division, Division 5 regional title, CIF champions for their soccer, and we just heard about that, so I'm going to recognize the players and also an adult. I may. I forgot it. Thank you. Okay, tonight we are excited to honor not one, but two of our high school California Interscholastic Federation champion, CIF, okay? Also known as CIF. From Carter High School, I have the honor. Home of the Lions, and then someone else, one of the other board members will present for Rialto Knights. We want to present these two honors in alpha order for the schools, so let's get started with Carter High School. It rained and in some games it hailed, but nothing stopped them. In the end, Lady Lions earned their championship. On March 4th of this year, Wilmer Amina Carter High School girls soccer team won the CIF State Southern Cal Division 5 regional title with a 1-0 victory against Ramona High School. Freshman Maya Davis scored in the 19th minute of the match, and goalkeeper Kira Montano and the Lions defense shut down Ramona.
It's Kyra.
Kyra, thank you. I was wondering how I was going to pronounce it. I was going to ask you. Okay, and the Lions defense shut down Ramona the rest of the way for the title. The title is the first CIF championship in program history and comes as the Lions rose above adversity. The Lions previously lost 2-0 against Ramona in the CIF Southern Section Division 6 championship game, but got their game together. That's the Lions, you know. Yeah. Okay, and won the title when the two teams met again just 8 days later. We wish CHS Carter High School girls soccer student athletes, Coach Corey Fincher, must have got it close, Athletic Director Joseph Paluba, and Principal Dr. Robin McMillan continued success in all future athletic endeavors. Go Lady Lions! When I call your names, please come up and accept your certificates of excellence. And Dr. McMillan, we also have a shiny plaque for Carter, and you can place it at our school. And Dr. Avila has a shiny RUSD pin, district pins for all champions. There's various versions of this. And this one's blue. Don't know if we have I guess it's appropriate, blue and gold. Yeah, okay. So here we go with the names. Yaneli Aguirre.
Look over at Mrs. You can look at Mrs. Ortiz real quick with a smile. Shake hands, smile, and then have the.
Okay. And next we have Maya Davis. Congratulations. I'm so proud of all these young ladies.
So am I. So am I.
Wow. Diane Dones or Donis? Donis.
Smile at your camera.
Well done. Serenity Fernandez. Congratulations.
Smile at the camera.
Sofia Zaragoza. Okay, she's not with us tonight. Christina Guerrero. Excuse my big hands here. Christina, congratulations. Smile for the camera. Veronica Ruiz. This is just getting me all ready for graduation. It's the same thing I tell the students, smile for the camera. Okay, Abby Enciso. Alexia Figueroa. Araceli Munoz. Congratulations. Smile for the camera. Oh, sorry. Alexa Rios. Does your thing go off at home when mom calls you? We call her the lady. Congratulations. Caitlin Ruiz. Sienna Villalobos. They're here in spirit. Leila Bustamante. Congratulations, Leila. Smile for the camera. Okay. Jada Edwards. Congratulations, Jada. Smile for the camera. Kyra Montano. I want a picture with this jacket. Congratulations. Milani Vergara. Smile for the camera. Congratulations. Corey Fincher. Yep, please. You're supposed to already be smiling. Every day. And a longtime teacher that I've admired, Joseph Palupa. Not for camera. If I don't say it, I heard it. Who do I hand these to?
Right there, Coach has it. Stephen has it.
There it is. Dr. McMillan. I should have had you up here all the time. Yeah, okay, smile for the camera. Thank you so much.
If we have any parents here with your student, do you mind taking a picture coming up? Are any parents? Please come up. Yeah.
And then if we can have our Board of Education come in, right with our champions here. If we can get the lady, you're good to just kind of come in. You know how that goes, right? The part's fine, but I got it now.
Awesome, ladies.
You guys have a lot of hard work. I need the board. I know, I come a little bit closer up. Jump in. Girls, you get a little closer. I know the live board meeting. Come up front.
I'm so proud of you guys. Let's say there's no Friday starts on Monday. I know what time. Oh, I can do myself.
Coach, if I can have you sit down, please. And Coach, the AD and the principal, have a seat, please. We're gonna make this really, yes. And everybody smile. Yeah. Yes, we need our board right here. Everybody come up a little bit closer. We're hiding Mr. Montes. Dr. Look here, right here. You're good. Mr. Montes, wow, that's a big picture. And then Mr. Martinez, can you go on the other edge with President Martinez? And then Dr. Avila, can you be right? Hey. Oh, thank you. There we go. Because we got the angle going. I need all our my students are already happy, so I don't know. They already got smiles on their face. Maybe you can look at everyone first. Look at your parents first.
Allow me to take the photo because I can see your phones on the web. Just 1 second, please. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, go ahead. Everybody just smile at your parents. Big smiles. And we do have a live televised meeting, so let's get us pictures real quick. And then remember, anything that's on the official social media belongs to you too. We'll make sure we give you the individual pictures by Mr. Palupa by tomorrow.
Okay. I'll give a moment to get the next group in. I love this. I love this. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. That's right. So as we sort of switch up, we're going to allow the Rialto High School come in for their celebration.
Give them a minute.
Yeah, just letting them know.
Come on in, students. Come on in. I remember her.
Hi, Rialto. Rialto High. Rialto High.
Have a seat, ladies. Coach Goodlow, have a seat.
This excitement. Okay, next we will have board member Miss Evelyn Dominguez with a special presentation.
I haven't been up here for a while. Okay. Our next presentation is to honor Rialto High girls basketball team. With lots of practice, preparation, determination, drive, and focus, come rain or shine, the Lady Knights won the CIF Southern Section Division 4 AA girls basketball.
Go Knights.
Girls basketball title with a 46-44 victory against Buena Park on February 25th, 2023. The Knights trailed by 12 points at halftime and railed to claim the program's first CIF/SS title since 2011. The Knights duo of Cardington Davis, did I say that right? Carrington Davis, and you gotta help me out with this one. Kareem Yon Anderson? Kamaya. Phonetics. Combined for a 38 of the Knights' 46 points in the title game. Davis scored a game-high 28 points and a 15 rebound, while Anderson finished with 11 points and 14 rebounds as Knights claimed their championship. Woo! Lady Knights, with the support of their outstanding and now CIF recognized coach Robert Goodlow, have accomplished gaining the title back after 12 years. Thank you, student athletes, Coach Goodlow, athletic director, Mr. Daniel Williams, principal, Dr. Caroline Sweeney, and everyone who supported the Knights by attending the games and supporting the girls. While I call your names, please come up and accept your certificates, and we will have a plaque for the school that Dr. Sweeney will place at the Rialto High. Okay? All right, come on, Stephen. Kamaya Anderson. We're not shaking hands, we're doing the heart. Come on. Oh, you gotta hold this. You gotta hold this. Oh, this is Oh.
Ready, big style? 1, 2, 3.
Carrington Davis. We're doing the heart. Everybody's doing the heart. That's our thing.
1, 2, 3. Thank you. Practice the heartbeat.
Aubrey Himes. We got. Oh, she's not here. Well, I'm just gonna have to go to Rialto High and give it to her then. Lamaya Johnson. Liza Ortiz. We're doing the heart. We're doing the heart. Destiny Rabino. Genevieve Soto. Millennium Tai. See it right? She's not here? I'm gonna go there. Yamadeth Perez. Joanna Zamano. Robert Goodlow. Thank you. No problem. Thank you. Donald McNeil. Thank you so much. Thank you. Roger Oxley. Not here? I'm gonna be there. Terrell Parks.
Nice.
John Murray. Be there on Monday, 8 o'clock. Daniel Williams. After I drop off the bus. No?
9 o'clock.
After 9 o'clock?
You don't start tomorrow.
Oh. That gives me time to go to Starbucks. Okay. All right, guys. Okay. Huh? Oh, the plaque. Dr. Sweeney? Mrs. Eckerson?
Oh, no, okay, it's okay.
Orange.
Let Saida, Mama Saida do her arranging.
Once again, we'd like to thank your parents, and if you're here, please feel to take a picture.
You do it straight, and then you go this way.
Have no choice but to go
Coach. There's that part.
I don't know, he did back to back. I think that's a blue one. I don't have a blue one either. I have my silver and my gold one right next to my jewelry. I put it on every morning.
Let's go with that. Both wins. Thank you, Dr. Smith. Okay, so we have a live televised meeting, but let's just get the pictures done real quickly. Everybody look at your parents first, and your guardian, grandma, grandpa, aunt, Theo, Thea.
Ready?
Big smiles.
Everyone. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Parents, you ready? Okay. Thank you.
No,
I'm sorry, can you, parents, you can come up front, come a little bit closer, so then you have a better angle, okay? There you go. Yes, not a little bit. Got it? Okay. Thank you.
I'm sitting back here, and all of a sudden, the light's blocked out because of all the height. Amazing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Players, awesome.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Okay. It's always a good thing to celebrate accomplishment and all the effort, training, and time and commitment for academics excellence, athletic excellence, our musical department, our theater. We're just doing it. We're doing it this year. So we're going to move on to our comments. C.1, public comments not on the agenda. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any items not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We have Sofia Gavia.
She's a Westman. You go here?
Yes, please. Here she comes.
Oops.
Oh, hello. Hello and good evening. My name is Sophia Govea, and I am the mother of 10th grader Malachi Stewart at Eisenhower High School. I am here to discuss my dissatisfaction with the lack of empathy and unprofessionalism I have experienced with Assistant Principal Dr. Richmond and my child's most recent incident with his 5th period teacher threatening to punch him in the face if he didn't be quiet. And before I continue, am I allowed to read what I have prepared?
To the 3-minute mark.
Okay. On March 19, 2023, the Sunday before school came back from spring break, Malachi came to me and told me he didn't want to go to school. I brushed it off, telling him, "I'm sorry, but we all have to go to work and school." He was persistent in telling me he did not want to go to school because he was scared. I asked why. He repeated he was scared. I asked if anyone was bothering him. He said yes, and I asked who. He said Miss Robles. So I asked, what did she do? His response was, she told me to be quiet or she will punch me in the face. I asked why she said that, and he replied, I don't know. When I asked him why she said to be quiet, Malachi's response was, because I raised my hand and I say, I have a question, and she says, be quiet. And I asked why, and she said, he asked her why, and she said, do you want me to punch you? Malachi gestured him putting his hands up in defeat, saying, okay. I asked, and then what? He said she just walked away. On a different occasion, he was making his stimming noises. He's autistic, so he does like the little stimming movements, and he makes like a humming sound. And she said once again, be quiet or I'm going to punch you in the face. I asked my son how she said it, and he instantly said, angry. I asked if anyone else heard this, and he said yes. Other students in the classroom and the teacher's aide, Miss Albino. When I brought my concerns to Dr. Richmond, the 10th grade assistant principal, his initial response before speaking to the teacher was that she must have been joking, but he'll look into it. He said Malachi could come to the office for 5th period and have someone bring him his work until the investigation is over. Malachi forgot and went to 5th period. No one looked for Malachi. Ms. Robles didn't direct him back to the office, but instead approached him directly to apologize to him and another student, which made Malachi feel uncomfortable and feel bad because someone told Ms. Robles. I have yet to receive an apology or explanation from his teacher. Dr. Richmond has said multiple times that he spoke to 2 to 3 students and teachers' aides out of each of her periods, and they all heard her say it, but says that she is joking. That was enough for Dr. Richmond because that is the explanation he has given me, and states that he has to talk to Ms. Robles about talking to certain students like that. He is definitely projecting to me that her threatening students. Thank you. Can I give you guys a copy?
Yes, sure.
Please.
You can hand it to the it's 5. Mm-hmm.
Is your contact information on the sheets?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
If you're short on the sheets, we can have them reproduced here.
I did like that. I just didn't know who he was or how many.
Okay.
Thank you. Do I have a seat here or go out?
If you
Wherever
would
you
like
like
to
is fine.
stay, or you can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Montano.
Good evening, everyone in attendance and viewing audience at home. I'm Michael Montano. This is my ninth year as a resident of Rialto, and this is my 14th year as a teacher in the district. I've previously come to talk about teacher burnout in the past, and we're getting at the end of the year, real close to the end, looking for that final push, and I'm going to repeat a quote, or close to it, enough that unfortunately it's the sentiment of too many of our teachers, and someone earlier today asked me to include that this also includes the sentiment of many classified, and the quote is, I'm tired of bending over backwards for an employer that doesn't care if I break in half. Burnout is a flame that is extinguished, someone that has nothing left to give. We might have lost some of those already. Those still with us are not burnt out yet. So they are not burnt out, they are demoralized, and that leads to burnout. And demoralization can be defined as happens when teachers encounter consistent and pervasive challenges to enacting the values that motivate their work. Again, I'm sure we can all make it to the end of the year, but looking forward to next year, things kept getting piled on everyone's plate, and let's maybe think about the next time we pile something on to take something off. We have a lot of teachers that are feeling very abused, and again, I need to clarify, I'm not speaking for Rialto High where I teach, multiple teachers in our district, and again, I've been asked to include classified staff with that feeling as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is all that we have.
Okay. Public comments on the agenda items. Any person wishing to speak or on any items on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We do not have any.
Okay. Comments from the Association Executive Board members. We're going to have REA, Rialto Education Association.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. I stand before you tonight a little upset. I'm an empathic person, which means that when I see somebody else struggling or in pain, I kind of internalize that. And lately I've been seeing a lot of people that are struggling. And I find myself thinking about the superintendent's call for kindness. And I'll start with a compliment, which is that I was able to sit down with the superintendent and Dr. Gibbs the other day, and we had a really constructive conversation. And in that conversation, we talked about a lot of issues that are going on in the district. It's called a problem-solving meeting, and I felt like we made some headway. But I'm internalizing a lot of things that my members are telling me, and you heard Mr. Montano talk about how people are struggling with some stuff. And I'd like to sort of focus in on 2 specific issues. In our contract, it requires that by this Friday that our teachers receive notification of reassignment for next year. And this is causing a lot of discomfort when teachers who got really good at teaching a specific grade or content or grade level, and then the principal gives them a new assignment for next year, right? So that they end up, I was a 2nd grade teacher for 20 years, and now they put me in kindergarten. I've been teaching kindergarten for 28 years, and now I'm teaching 4th grade. Never taught it before. I shared some research with the superintendent about what that does. It's not good, people. The results for years after that for the students who had that teacher that was reassigned are not good. It's not a good practice. And it breaks down the cohesiveness of the staff. Now, if you do it with 1 or 2 teachers, and it happens for a variety of reasons, that's understandable. But if you have a school where 60% of the teachers had their assignments changed, that's not right. We know what good leadership is. Good leadership inspires us. It lifts us up. It makes us feel better. We engage with people who care about us. Kindness. But when you make these kind of reassignments, and they're involuntary, these teachers did not say, I want to go there. They were just told by their principal, you're going to be doing this next year. You're going to be doing that. And it's having a ripple effect. And so my inbox is filled with teachers who are getting these notifications, and they're upset. They're deeply upset. And so I think that we need to think about how we do that. Now, it's not just the reassignment sometimes. It's how it's handled, right? It's about the relationship. It's about the connection. So, for instance, some teachers get it as just a little note in their box. And I'll tell you, most teachers actually prefer that, okay, just to get a note in their box. But some teachers called the teachers in, and they sat them down, and they gave them a bunch of what the teachers would tell you, garbage reasons. Non-reasons.
Sorry, the teachers call the teachers in?
No, the principal. I'm sorry, the principal called these teachers in to tell them they're being reassigned, and these teachers felt that it was punitive, that it was getting back at them for other things that had happened at the campus, and it creates, again, an environment, a negative environment. The second thing I wanted to mention to you is also, this is actually state law. By March 15th, we have to let go of probationary teachers that we don't want to continue in our district. And there are lots of reasons that people get let go. And I'm not here to stand in front of these people and say they're all good people and they all shouldn't lose their job. There are people who don't belong in this profession, and our principals have to make tough decisions to let them go. What I am upset with is some of the process. Principals who missed the deadline for notification, principals who didn't tell their teachers that they were on the list, and then those teachers found out from me, because I was given the list and I reached out to give some support, and they found out from me. And then the principals who decide that we're going to sit down with that teacher after the fact and we're going to apologize. But it's not a real apology. It's a non-apology apology. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel bad. That's not a real apology. We have to treat people like people. I know it's a tough conversation to tell someone you're not going to be rehired, you're not coming back next year, but show some empathy and some kindness. Sit down with them, listen to them, explain to them, give them a moment to absorb it, grieve a little bit with them, and then help them to see the silver lining, which is what I tried to do, right? To talk about what comes next in your life. This is not the end of your career, it's just the beginning of a new chapter, right? If it didn't work here in Rialto, take what you get from this, finish the year strong, because by the way, they have to finish the year teaching, so you tell them in March that they don't come back, but they've got several months still in our classrooms, right? But treat them like human beings. Give them some dignity and some respect. I don't think that's too much to ask, and frankly, I was insulted that I was put in the position of informing people. That's garbage. That's garbage. They should have heard it directly from their principal. And so I wanted to stand here tonight and just make a call for kindness and for inspiring, uplifting leadership. Let's do that. Let's do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have California School Employee Association, CSEA.
Good evening, Rialto Unified Family. I'm Chris Cordasco, Chapter 203 President. Tonight, I'm going to keep this short. I am simply presenting our sunshine proposal to you.
Sunshine proposal. There's daisies in there?
Yes.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Communication Workers of America, CWA.
Doesn't look like they're in tonight.
Okay, just making sure they're not in. Next, we'll have Rialto School Manager Association, RSMA. Not in the room. All right. Comments from the student board member, Mr. Stephen Gaitan.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. In recognition of college admission release season, I'd like to congratulate all those seniors who made it to not only their dream school, but any school. Congratulations to you all. You know, it's really hard work to get accepted, especially these days since college admissions are getting even harder to get into colleges. For those who unfortunately did not make it to their choice school, you know, it's okay. There's a college, an education, a job out there that's looking for a person just like you. You still have an opportunity. You just need to look a little bit harder, but it's okay. Also, I'd like to congratulate Rialto and Carter High School for their CIF titles. Really hard work. Good job. Yeah, that'd be it for me.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Next, we'll have Board Member Dominguez. Oh, wait. Comments from the superintendent.
Thank you, President Lewis. Just a big shout out to Mrs. Rebecca Barbie and her American Sign Language students from Eisenhower High School. Really touched my heart listening or watching and listening to the presentations today. And a big congratulations to both of the CIF champ teams from Carter and Rialto High School, along with the coaches, the administration, and everybody who supported them. Big congratulations for supporting Rialto in such a positive way. Congratulations to Isabella Lepe, who mentioned earlier she will be traveling to Dallas, Texas to represent Carter High School in the International Engineering Fair in Dallas. So congratulations for representing. I will mention but won't expand on our Teach Rialto event that we had last year at Cal State San Bernardino, hoping someone else will take it and run with it. But I do want to congratulate Mrs. Fasad Raman Davis, our USD Lead Nutrition Services Agent, who was honored by Assembly Member James C. Ramos at the Women of Her Story event on March the 11th of 2023. Congratulations for, again, doing everything that you do and representing Rialto in such a positive light. I also want to congratulate Mr. Nalik Davis Jr. Mr. Davis was the Equity and Social Justice teacher at Eisenhower High School in past years, but now is a program specialist at Crucero High School. This past weekend in Santa Clara, he was the recipient of the African American California Teachers Association Human Rights Award in honor of Lois Tinson. And again, congratulations for everything that he's done for our district and representing us in such a positive way. And I personally was honored to be a part of the California Association of Latino Superintendents and Administrators Women in Leadership panel because I was the male, given a voice on how we engage and interact with Latino administrator females and the things that we do to support them along their educational career journey. So I was honored to be asked to be on that panel.
Thank you.
And lastly, I know that we have a little over 2.5 months left until the end of the school year, but just a reminder to keep kindness, patience, and commitment in our hearts while serving everyone else. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Next, we'll have comments from Board Member Dominguez.
Thank you, President Lewis. I was actually able to attend the Kolb Award that they received at the Schools to Watch in Monterey. It was a very troubling time since there was a storm out in Monterey. The lights were out in 3 neighboring cities, and there was limited water, and it was a very tough time. However, the team that I was out there with were very uplifting, very positive, very welcoming, and even though we had all these troubles and tribulations, you know, Mrs. Lewis was there with me, and so was Dr. Avila. It was very refreshing and very positive. What's wrong with my mic? Oh, like that? Okay. It was very refreshing and very positive to be out there with this group of teachers that were with me. We all shared, we all took care of each other, and even though I didn't know them and they didn't know me, they accepted me, they took care of me, I took care of them, and it was like one big happy family. And I saw the culture that they had, and I realized that that's how they that's how they worked. That's how they, you know, their culture of their school was, you know, everybody's accepted, everybody's welcome, everybody is family. You know, the exceptional leadership of their prior principal and their new principal is what really got them to focus on their academics. And, you know, it's something that we should really have throughout our district, is that positive culture, you know, so we can continue focusing on academics, since that's one of our biggest priorities. You know, I like Dr. Avila said, that we need to continue passing on the kindness, the love, and we just need to keep doing it. You know, I also am fortunate to be able to go to the CABE conference. As you know, that the South Side is where the DLI schools started, and my goal as a new board member is to better understand the execution and the implementation of the DLI program as we are growing bigger and better, as we are expanding and incorporating, you know, us be starting our 8th year in DLI, and obviously we're going to get that seal by literacy eventually until we get to 12th grade. We're close to it. You know, I want to make sure that we have a strong program. You know, we've had some hiccups on the way, you know, and that's what that's what we want, is we want to make sure that we avoid all those hiccups, that we make sure that we take care of them, that we provide all the needs for our students and continue to focus on that academic excellency and in congruency to the DLI program. And as we have a couple months left, and as we are preparing for summer school, there has been some concerns about summer school. You know, we do have great programs for enrichment for the DLI, but we need to focus also on intervention. We need to have both enrichment and an intervention for the DLI. And I would like to end my board comments with extending my condolences to the Boyd community. Yes, I am a board member, but I'm also a Boyd parent. Boyd lost one of their beloved staff members, Mrs. Connie. She has been there for well over 40 years. and some of the staff were her students. She passed kindness. She was a well-known noon aide, nutrition worker, health nutrition worker, and she would my kids told me that she would always tell the kids, get in line, stand up straight. And she always loved the kids. She'd not only feed their bellies, but she filled their hearts. And I know that she will be missed, and so my condolences to the family and to the Boyd community. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dominguez. Next, we'll have Board Member Montez.
Thank you, Board President Ms. Lewis. So I just also wanted to congratulate both Rialto High School's girls soccer and Carter High School's girls soccer and Rialto High School's girls basketball for their championships. I too was here, Mr. Martinez, you and me both, when Rialto High School Lady Knights last won the championship 12 years ago. 12 years ago. It's been that long.
That was it, 10?
Yeah. 10 or 11.
Yeah, you were just elected then.
Yeah. Less gray hair back then, 50 pounds lighter too. But yeah, good times. But congratulations to Coach Goodlow for bringing the championship back. And congratulations to all the parents that were here tonight. I want to just give out these trays that I asked for on my recent trip to Washington, D.C. The California School Nutrition Association had these put together, these special trays that say California Universal Meals Program, and it's thank you for your support. These trays, these picture trays, were given to all of the legislators that took the time to meet with school nutrition advocates. California is lucky to have a universal meal program ongoing after COVID. A lot of states that had approved it during COVID took it away right after. California continues it. So a lot of states, a lot of nutrition programs at other districts and other states are advocating to have theirs extended or brought back. So we're really lucky here in California to have it. And I thought that it was a special picture frame. And I thought to myself, hey, I found out there's some Rialto students on these picture frames, and I said, hey, if some of our students on there, the least I could do was ask for one for the superintendent, our student board member, and for the board. Unfortunately, I was told that they ran out. They were all given away to the legislators in Capitol Hill. But to my surprise, somebody probably felt bad that I asked for them and they didn't have any more, so they made more just for us. So I just wanted to hand you guys one each for your guys' office or, home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm not normally a gifty person, a present person, but for whatever reason this came about.
Thank you.
And then you got one already? Yeah. You can give one to Ms. O'Callaghan. So for those who don't know, our school district actually did the legwork to go universal meal program here before the state even did it, before COVID. And I'm just very proud of all the hard work our people here have done. And it reminds me of the famous words of my African sister from another mister over at Nutrition Services, who always says, is it Ubuntu?
Yeah, I think it's Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, which means I am because of we. It's not I am because of me. It's I am because of we. So Ubuntu to Facet and all her people, and I'm just very happy to be able to give these to you guys. So thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Board Member Martinez?
Just wanted to congratulate all of our winners on all the various topics. And thank Mr. Montez and Nutrition Services, Fawcett and Company to, they're always up there, working hard, just as hard as you see them during COVID summer. That's how hard they work all the time. And I don't know where they get the energy. Eating the right meals, I guess. Okay. The one thing that stands out, I mentioned this before. Former California State Superintendent of Education, Jack O'Connell, suggested that there are better ways to handle March 15th notices. And that would be to move them until after July 1st. But that means the legislature would have to act. The reason to move it behind or after July 1st, I'm sorry, that would be negotiations can be done because the budgets are known. As, you know, July 1st, you know what money you're getting. It's pretty much decided where it's going. All the what ifs that hold off negotiations and that little thing that is always seems like a push and shove in negotiations doesn't have to be there. We know it. Jack O'Connell knows it. But we all have to stand up and let our legislatures know that we want it changed. Let's see. And that's really it there. Please contact the superintendent regarding your concerns. There are some findings. Madam President.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martinez. So in keeping with Women's History Month and with sign language as a dual language, I'd like to quote again from Helen Keller, who was both deaf and blind, and she stated, "When one door of happiness closes, another one opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us. We are never really happy until we try to brighten the lives of others. I take happiness very seriously. It is a creed, a philosophy, and an objective." Helen Keller. And with that, I really want to give a shout out to our HVAC team. I'm glad we're pouring into training when our fearless team from at the conference, we went to Kolb, and they presented well. They talked about, they presented and recruited. Let me give a shout out to our lead personnel. Ortega, their staff presented and recruited, and they shared their knowledge. But when the lights went out and the power, who did we turn to? HVAC. We turned to the people who knew how to get up on those roofs, fix the electrical wiring. You know, those skills are so important. People who work out in the sun, they were able, the city workers, to contract the levee broke. And so when we're thinking about our trades and our skills, I'm so glad that we are pouring into their continual professional development training. So thank you very much, and I appreciate, because if this room was cold or hot, everyone would be upset. And they keep our school heated to the proper temperature, and even with aging. Also, I just have to give a shout out to Rialto Unified School District being #1 with their FAFSA, okay? Getting that started. I mean, out of the district, we still have a way to go, but that means that, you know, the people are pushing this and educating the parents and educating the students. And really, you know, whether you go or not, that's one piece of information that needs to be filled, because there's a lot of scholarship and grants that are sort of going with the FAFSA score. The Teach Rialto MOU, our partnership with Cal State San Bernardino, is a partnership, it's a collaborative. They told us so many Rialto Unified School District graduates went to Cal State San Bernardino. Are you a graduate of Cal State San Bernardino? Anybody in the house? We had teachers and and their program, and it was just outstanding for him to really, the president and our superintendent, to work together for the CT program to put that teach to teach. You know, that it was just powerful. Mr. Montez was there with me. We witnessed, he wants us to have alumni association up there, and I'm like, let's do it. He wants this partnership to continue, and Cal State San Bernardino is unique, but we're hitting all the universities, college, trade school, and having more partnership, more agreements, more opportunity, more expansion is great for all of our students. And then more enrichment, and just sort of like for our elementary, just to see, to place their feet.
Somebody made a video?
So, so then, I also just want to say, you know, the LA Marathon and the kids who train and work with and run and putting that time. My mother-in-law did her first marathon at age 70, and she completed 3. So I'm like, haven't done one yet, so I still have like 20 more years to jump on that. But it's just, this is extra that the students and the faculty that work with these students and supervise these students. So I really appreciate all the staff, the parents who support them. So we're about taking care of the whole child. And I just wanted to talk about a central kitchen and what that means for years ago, families and school districts started just importing all their food in. And if you have a food allergy because of the globalization of seed production and these mega farms, that's why we're seeing more of the wheat and celiac disease and all these allergies. But to have a central kitchen to process this food, to separate, because some of these allergies, they can't even touch the nut, you know, to separate that and to have the modernization for cleaning, sanitation, the raw ingredients is really critical as far as a health concern. And we're not even talking about the type 1 diabetes, and children do not need fake food and processed foods, especially with the dietary restriction. So that's an avenue that the staff is really looking to, and you know, that will be a revenue resource because so many of the other school districts have really done away with really having the raw ingredients, and you know, they'll have a cafeteria, but they don't have a central kitchen, which is different. And to Ms. Dominguez, she said the power is off and she's cold, but I lived in a home for 3 years with no power and no heat. And I cooked in a fireplace, and it was a little house in the prairie. And so I was just like, all right, well, you load up, pad up, you know, and just, but foster care and people who are homeless are doing this every day. And so I finished nursing school, you know, and no one knew. My friends would come over, and I said, I can't have company after dark because the lights didn't turn off, but I just said, I can't have company. So we're resilient. And so I was so ecstatic that the foster cares are going to a conference, that we pour into our homeless, because you can have a beautiful house, but your heat might not be on, especially with these gas bills. Your light might be. The pride of your parents not able to providing for their kids will keep you in silence. And so, you know, we presented, we hung in there, we did well. I stayed later to represent the poor conference at 4 p.m. That was only 3 of us, but I said, hey, Rialto Unified School District is going to listen to everybody. So I stayed, but the presentation from Kolb was so outstanding. They took all the posters. I'm sure they gave a lot of feedback, but just to see that transition, and they created a system that continues to be in place. And it's not with new staff. It was the motivation and the ideas of the people who've been there for a while. So we're missing Ms. O'Kelly tonight. We miss you if you're watching. Our hearts are with you.
Ms. Tuya.
And we will sort of move on.
Ms. Lewis, I just wanted to thank our Saida Joffrey and Edith and Ricardo, Matthew, for covering that MOU at Cal State San Bernardino. You guys did an awesome job. You guys do deserve a round of applause. Last night I seen the YouTube video with our board president starring on YouTube.
Ms. Montez.
And I got a little piece of there. Yeah, I got a little piece of I got a little piece of
I'm
the
reclaiming
action
my
in there,
time.
but no, me and my family are so proud, really, of the MOU with the Cal State San Bernardino, all of the good work that's happening with that, and thank you guys for covering that so well. So, kudos to communications.
Do we have another round 2 of comments? Anybody else round 2? Okay, let's move on.
Just wanted to thank the blue collar heroes.
All righty. I'm glad to motivate y'all to think outside the box. Okay. All righty. So we're going to public hearing. None. Okay, we're going to move to E. Go ahead, Ms. Martha.
We move on to consent calendar items. All items in the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action.
Are there any polls? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
I
Vote.
have some discussion. So
Okay.
do you want me to pull them, or I can discuss it before we vote?
Well,
If it,
which numbers would you
if it's
like
just comments,
to discuss?
E312, 3.12. And I'll just comment on E3.14 and 3.15. I'm glad to see both of those, but the comment on E3.12, that's a huge jump.
Well, let's pull that
Okay.
item.
3,
And then,
112.
yeah, and then we
I'm
can
sorry,
do that.
3.12.
E 3.12. Okay, so we will vote on the consent items except for E 3.2, and we will go back and vote on that separately. So we're going to put the,
wait, just
Was
for
that-
clarification,
Yeah, was it 3.12 or 3.2?
3.12.
was that the only item?
yes, he was
That's
just.
only pulled.
Okay.
Mhm.
Narratives on page 40.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve consent calendar items, all except for E 3.12.
So
Okay.
moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, vote by Mr. Gaitan,
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez,
Aye.
Mr. Montes,
Aye.
Mr. Martinez,
Aye.
Ms. Lewis, aye. Okay, so now, Martha, will you go ahead and read the item?
Sure thing. Item E 3.12, Agreement with Alliance Environmental and Compliance Incorporated. Approve an amendment to the agreement with Alliance Environmental and Compliance Incorporated, increasing the cost by $10,000 for a total contract cost not to exceed $14,990, effective March 23rd, 2023 through June 30th, 2023, and to be paid from the general fund.
Okay, so first let's have a motion and a second, then we'll open it up for discussion. So is there a motion? I make a motion, Lewis.
Second.
Okay. Question, discussion?
Okay, it looks like a 200% increase. I go over to page 40 for the narrative. The reasoning, the district is in need of such special services and advice. For over 7 years, Alliance, blah, 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 has provided excellent service. Various services will be utilized as needed for all school sites and support site locations, such as warehouse, garage, maintenance and operations, yard, and agreement will cover costs related to the services provided and reimbursable expenses such as travel and administrative expenses. Either we really we're doing it ourselves before, or we owe them a big gratitude. We have a lot of gratitude for them doing it without being paid. I don't think that would be the business acumen. So it was just a shock to jump that much.
What we'd like to have for staff for clarification?
Diane.
If I can have Derek Harris give a detailed explanation.
Good evening, Board President, Board Clerk, members of the board, Superintendent Avila, Student Board Member, Innovation
Most
Team. I got him. Derek Harris, I'm your lead agent with Risk Management and Transportation.
Excuse me, can you just restate your question that I got lost?
Okay, the jump was 200%, an increase of 200%. It was shocking.
Okay.
So either they were eating it or we were eating it somehow. Why the big jump all at once?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, excellent, Mr. Martinez. So, it's not a jump in the price, it's a jump in quantity. So the price isn't going up. We're utilizing their services more in response to recent events, such as with the extra moisture that's in the air. Some of our roofs have had a tough time. Any flooding or anything. So they come in and ensure that our air quality is there. So when we saw a trend in the number of times that we have to dispatch them for testing and analysis, we figured that we're crossing the threshold at this time, and so that we needed to come to you so that we can be in a position to respond quickly.
It is public money, and when there's a jump like that, they need to know.
You are doing your job.
Any further? Any other questions?
No, that explains it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we ready for the vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis? Aye.
Okay, we will now move on to discussion action items. Item F1, accept the grant from California Energy Commission for the CalShape program. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Accept the grant funds from the California Energy Commission for the CalShape grant in the amount of $3,473,232. Do we have a discussion?
Discussion?
Ms. Dominguez?
Yes. How are we choosing what schools are going to go up first? Are we making like a master list and saying, okay, this is the damage, this is where our old is, this school has the most damage? How are we assessing what schools, or how are we prioritizing the grant?
So when we submitted the application, we submitted for all of our schools. All schools have a scope of work of, I'll let Matt Carter explain, but all schools did follow the requirements of the grant. Do you want to come up to the mic and give him more details, please?
Okay. So, Ms. Dominguez, will you repeat the question for him?
Yes, let me just wait for you to get up to the podium. Okay, so the question was, how are we going to prioritize the grant? And part of what Mrs. Romo was saying, so is every school going to receive a portion of this grant?
They are. There's 3 schools that didn't qualify in the grant process for this
That
grant.
didn't qualify?
Right.
Okay.
It's they're different. There are 3 schools that didn't because they're in a different energy company. So let me hang on 1 second here. Let me find the 3. Okay. So Carter qualified, Warner, Cordiac, Myler, Zupanik, Rialto High, Eisenhower, Bemis, Boyd, Casey, Dunn, Henry, Kelly, Morgan, Myers, Preston, Trapp, Frisbee, Rialto Middle School, Kolb, Dollahan, Simpson, Eubanks, Fitzgerald, Kusera, Curtis, and that was it. So what this grant does, this is for the assessment of all the HVAC systems on the campus, just for the assessment only, which it qualifies us for the next round so we can replace them.
Okay, so this is just for the assessment.
Yes.
This is not for the actual repair.
No.
Okay.
And CO2 monitoring
Oh,
is covered.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, that was my only question.
Okay,
Thank you.
Any other?
Any other questions, discussion?
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Gaitan, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Mingus?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis, aye.
Okay, item F2, approve the student transportation plan. Approve the student transportation plan presented to the Board of Education under separate cover in accordance to Education Code 39800.1, which specifies the district must have a transportation plan adopted by the governing board by April 1st, 2023, and updated by April 1st each year thereafter.
Do we have a motion? So move, Lewis.
Second?
Okay. Any discussion or questions? Okay, Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Mr. Mingus?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
And Ms. Lewis, aye.
And the plan should be on the website, I'm assuming it is.
Item F3, agreement and change order with Universal Asphalt Company Incorporated. Do we have a motion?
So moved?
Second?
Approve amendment number 2 to modify the work and schedule with Universal Asphalt Company Incorporated and accept change order number 1 to bid number 2021-002 in the amount of $255,400 from an original amount of $2,790,680,000 to $3,046,080 and to be paid from the Deferred Maintenance Fund 14.
Do we have any discussions or questions? Okay, Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Mr. Mingus?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
And Ms. Lewis, aye.
Item F4, agreement with EduPoint Educational Systems, LLC. Do we have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Okay, okay. Way to go.
Go for it, Zeke.
Gaitan.
Approve an agreement to the renewal agreement with EduPoint Educational Systems, LLC to include Synergy MTSS module and to extend the agreement to March 23rd, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $327,229.57 and to be paid from the general fund.
Okay, Mr. Gaitan, how you vote? Mr. Mingus?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis, aye.
Item F5, agreement with Therapy Travelers, LLC. Do we have a motion?
So move, Lewis.
Second.
Approve an amendment to the agreement with Therapy Travelers, LLC and 3 Courts Incorporated to provide special education and medical-related services to ensure compliance with students' healthcare plans and individualized education programs, effective March 23rd, 2023 through June 30th, 2023 at an increased cost of $500,000 for a total contract not to exceed $800,000 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any discussions, questions? Okay, Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Mr. Mingus?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis, aye.
Item F6, bond resolution number 222343 for the issuance and sale of the 2022 Measure A bond authorization not to exceed $80 million. Do we have a motion?
So moved?
Second?
Approve bond resolution number 222343 of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District authorizing the issuance and sale of not to exceed $80 million aggregate initial principal amount of bonds of the district, including bonds that allow for the compounding of interest by a negotiated sale, prescribing the terms of the sale, approving the form of the authorizing of and authorizing the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement and a continuing disclosure certificate, approving the form of an official statement for the bond, and authorizing the execution of necessary documents and certificates and related actions. Longest sentence ever.
Any questions or discussions or comments on this?
Discussion.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez?
It's more for the application process for the committee for the bonds. When are the applications due for the committee?
After this item is approved, we're going to open it up from April through the end of May.
Okay.
And then we'll present to the board the applications that we have, and then you will appoint members as they fit the different categories that we're required to meet.
Okay, and then how will the candidates be notified that they were selected?
They get an official letter out of the business office.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any more questions, comments, discussions? Okay. Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis? Aye.
Item F7, Board of Education meeting schedule for the 2023-2024 school year. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Approve the Board of Education meeting schedule for the 2023-2024 school year. Any discussion?
Or questions?
Did everybody get a chance to review the dates?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis? Aye.
Item F8, administrative hearing. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Case number 222360.
Any discussion or question? Ms. Dom-
We can't have it for that.
yeah. Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Sometimes they separate her case number. Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
And I.
Item F9, stipulated expulsions. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Case numbers 222377, 222375, and 222374.
Okay. How do you vote, Ms. Dominguez?
Did we already motion?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So aye.
Okay. Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis? Aye.
Okay, we move over to adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on April the 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John Casalunas Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education of the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis? Aye. And the time is 8:37. Meeting closed.